It's working. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Thank you, Prabhu. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Tai Gauranga Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagat Guru. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Vaishnava Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Acharya Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Patita Pavan, Srila Prabhupada, Patit Pavan, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Patit Pavan Srila Gurudeva. Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajagacharya Astotra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Guru Vrinda Ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. The Holy Appearance Day of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Purnima Mahatsava Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Purnima Mahatsava Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji Ki Jai. Shri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Hare Krishna. Please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Turubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschat Deshatarine. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinamine. Shivarshabhanavi Devi Deitaya Kripabhnaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha. Madhurya Jwala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute. Namaste Gauravani Shimurte Deenatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Yatharupa ki Jai. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji ki Jai. Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So today is the holy appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the original Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So I thought that we'd speak about something that relates to the appearance of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the reason for his appearance, the purpose of his appearance, as it applies to us, the devotees in the movement. So I'm going to speak from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila 13.5. I don't know if it's there. Adi Lila 13.5. If it's possible to put it up. Or if you have your phones, you can turn that on. Good. Yeah. So please repeat after me. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandera Bhakta Chandragana. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandera Bhakta Chandragana. Sabara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Sabara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana. Savara prema jyotshaya ujjvala tribhuvana. Please repeat. Jaya Shri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana. Savara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana. Tabara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Nice. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana. Sabara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Jaya Sri Chaitanya Chandrera Bhakta Chandragana. Sabara Prema Jyotsnaya Ujjvala Tribhuvana. Jaya, all glories, Sri Chaitanya of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chandrera, who is as bright as the moon. Bhakta, devotees. Chandragana, other moons. Sabara, all of them. Prema Jyotsnaya, by the full light of love of Godhead. Ujjvala, bright. Tribhuvana, all the three worlds. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So please repeat after me. All glories to the moons who are devotees of the principal moon, Lord Chaitanya Chandra. Their bright moonshine illuminates the entire universe. So all glories to the moons who are devotees of the principal moon, Lord Chaitanya Chandra. Their bright moonshine illuminates the entire universe. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In this verse, we find the moon described as Chandragana, which is plural in number. This indicates that there are many moons. In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 21, the Lord says, Nakshatranam aham sashi. Among the stars, I am the moon. All the stars are like the moon. Western astronomers consider the stars to be suns, but Vedic astronomers, following the Vedic scriptures, consider them moons. The sun has the ability to shine powerfully, and the moons reflect the sunshine and therefore look brilliant. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishna is described to be like the sun. The supreme powerful is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, or Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And his devotees are also bright and illuminating because they reflect the Supreme Sun. The Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya-lila, chapter 22, text 31 states, Krishna Surya Sama Maya hoy andakar, Yaha Krishna taha nahi Maya adhikar. Quotes, Krishna is bright like the sun. As soon as the sun appears, there is no question of darkness or nascence. Close quotes. Similarly, the present verse also describes that by the illumination of all the moons, brightened by the reflection of the Krishna sun, or by the grace of all the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the entire world will be illuminated, despite the darkness of Kali Yuga. Only the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga, the ignorance of the population of this age. No one else can do so. So again, only the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga, the ignorance of the population of this age. No one else can do so. We therefore wish that all the devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement may reflect the Supreme Sun and thus dissipate the darkness of the entire world. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Shamate Tamal Krishna Goswamini Dinam. So as we've heard many times in the past, that Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears for a number of reasons. Some reasons are well known to everybody, and some of them are more confidential reasons. The most important reason that he appears, that is well known in the scriptures, is to inaugurate the Sankirtan movement. And of course, also to fulfill the desire of Sri Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is none other than Mahavishnu, and Sadashiva, as we say, Sadashiva, who is actually also an incarnation of Vishnu. But Sadashiva is mentioned because Mahavishnu is in the spiritual world and he expands as three Vishnus: Karanadakashaya Vishnu, Kshiradakashaya Vishnu, and Garbhadakashaya Vishnu. But Sadashiva is his expansion who comes here from time to time for the benefit of all of us jivas who decided to actually inhabit the material world because we wanted to enjoy our senses independently of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Amongst the confidential reasons, Lord Krishna describes that he is the supreme enjoyer, but for him to enjoy, he needs something that is of greater enjoyment. It's just like in our case, whatever we have doesn't give us much enjoyment, but something greater gives us enjoyment. So we always look forward to more, because that more is going to give us some enjoyment. What we already have is a little boring to us. It's like the same old, same old. We want something bigger. So Krishna describes that he cannot enjoy unless the person who's giving him enjoyment is 100 times more powerful than he is. I mean, that's amazing, because he's the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him to describe that somebody exists who is 100 times more powerful than him is a very amazing statement. That's why it's considered very confidential. And then he goes on to describe that that person is Radharani. And he can see that although he is enjoying, her enjoyment to him appears much greater than his own enjoyment. And he wants to taste that enjoyment. So that's one of the confidential reasons. The second one is even better than the first reason. The second reason is he wants us to taste that pleasure. That same pleasure that he comes to taste, he wants us to taste it. He wants to give that pleasure to everybody. Therefore, Gauranga Mahaprabhu is said to be Namo Mahavadanyaya. Means the most beneficent personality of Godhead. Because he's come to share that pleasure that Krishna wants to taste, that he hankers to taste after, because we all hanker for things. All of us have something that we hanker after. The best thing to hanker after is service to the Supreme Lord and the Supreme Lord's devotees. Because service to the Lord and service to the Lord's devotees is non-different. Prabhupada very nicely describes that in the 4th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And he repeats that over and over and over again, that actually serving the devotees is as powerful as serving the Lord himself, and that there's no difference between these two services. So this is the position of the devotee who rises to the highest level, who understands this point. Earlier on, the devotee understands that we should serve the Supreme Lord, we should serve the deities. The deities are most important. Then the devotee advances further when the devotee starts preaching, because preaching gives life. The inert senses become now activated with bhakti. So when they become activated with bhakti, then the consciousness rises to the understanding that actually the devotees and Krishna are actually both worshipable. They're both worshipable. And then, when it rises to the highest level, the consciousness tells us that it is actually all about the devotees. It's about the moons. Now, sometimes we say that devotees are like suns, and amongst the devotees there's some moons amongst the devotees. But actually, our scriptures and the acharyas don't so much agree with that. The acharyas and the scriptures say that every devotee is a moon. Every devotee is a moon. And these moons have been manifested for one purpose only. And that purpose is to dissipate the darkness of the ignorance of Kali Yuga. That is why we become devotees. There is no other reason to become a devotee. If you become a devotee for any other reason, that is not part of Radharani's plan. That is not Gaudiya Vaishnava. Gaudiya Vaishnava means that our heart should cry to reach out to people, particularly those who are not yet, who have not yet understood what it means to be a devotee. We may call them karmis, we may call them non-devotees, we may call them budding devotees, potential devotees, however you'd like to describe them. But those who are not devotees are the most important people for us in this world. Why? Because those are the ones we can reach out to and give them the love of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And if we do that, if we take that trouble, because there is going to be trouble, the trouble extends all the way to being killed. There are some countries in this world that if you preach and they catch you, I know one country that does it, they will take you to prison and harvest your organs. And that's the last anybody will hear about you. Devotees have no issue with that. No issue. That's okay. They can do whatever they like to me, but I will do what Gauranga Mahaprabhu wants me to do. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears for this as the principal reason of appearing. Otherwise, he already appeared as Krishna. He had no other reason. Of course, we have all the other reasons, the confidential reasons, etc. But the most confidential reason that Lord Chaitanya appears is actually to encourage us to become moons, to become devotees, and to reach out to the children of Krishna, because everyone is a child of Krishna, to reach out to every child of Krishna, no matter how difficult it is. Of course, you should start at the easiest level. Go for the lowest hanging fruit first. The lowest hanging fruit are those who come to this temple. That's the lowest hanging fruit you're going to get. They are already interested. They've already been invited by Radha Kalachandji to this temple. So they're the lowest hanging fruit. They're the easiest ones to preach to. And for those of us who preach to them, No, even some of them have a contrary attitude and may ask us some very, very searching questions, sometimes insulting as well. But that's the lowest hanging fruit. Then when you step out, this neighborhood also is not too bad. Because a lot of people know us already. But as you go out further, it does become more difficult and difficult. And if you go out on the internet, it becomes the most difficult. Because the internet is replete with pages and pages and pages of why you should not become a Hare Krishna. Anytime somebody has a problem, they think, oh, let me find out more about the Hare Krishnas. And what do you think happens when they go on the internet? All these pages turn up about all the things that have gone wrong inside Hare Krishna. And so they become discouraged. They think, oh, the Hare Krishnas are not very nice people. This is not actually a religion. This, that, and the other. Preaching to them is amazing, amazing preaching. If you can preach to those people who speak against us and turn them around and make them our advocates, they will become the most powerful advocates. And this is why the moon decided to go into eclipse on the day of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. It wasn't by accident that the moon went into eclipse. Now the moon is actually an amazing planet. It is a planet that governs our nerves. And our nerves actually make a very big difference to our emotions. And the emotions is what controls the world. The 33 Vyabhicharis of Prema actually control this whole world. All of them are emotions. Some of them are very conflicting emotions like frustration, anger, disgust. I mean, emotions like that. These are emotions of love. So the moon is in whose dynasty Krishna appeared. But on the day that Lord Chaitanya was to appear, the moon decided to go into an eclipse. Why? Why did the moon choose to go into eclipse? Because the moon wanted to say that I have spots on me. It's called kalanka. In Sanskrit, the word kalank is used, meaning has spots. Like if our character has some spots on it, those are considered our kalanks. So the moon is considered kalankit. Kalankit means that it has spots. But Lord Chaitanya, the moon of Lord Chaitanya, has no spots. It's akalankit. Has no spots. So the moon was sending the message, you don't need me, because I am actually, it was Purnima, so for that is the full moon day. The moon said, but you don't need me, because I am Kalankit. But Lord Chaitanya is Akalankit. Now you have him. I'm going to stay in the background. And took eclipse. Moon took eclipse. Now today is also very amazing that today the moon also decided to go into eclipse. It's not often that Gaura Purnima happens on the day when the moon is gone into eclipse. It's very rare actually. Today is that rare day. And then more rare than that is the moon decided to go into a red eclipse, which is a blood moon eclipse. Now, one of Lord Chaitanya's name is Nityananda Prana. That means that Lord Nityananda's heart is Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Now normally, and not normally, always, in our Siddhanta, the energy of the energetic, right? The energy of the energetic is considered the heart. Means like for example, Radharani is the Ladini Shakti of Krishna. She is the energy of Krishna. Krishna is the energetic. So the energy of Lord Gauranga is Nityananda Balaram, right? He is the energy. That's why Prabhupada describes that when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, one of the meanings is that we are praying to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Just like we say sometimes, we're praying to Lord Krishna and Radharani. Hare means Radharani and Krishna means Lord Krishna, right? Hare Krishna. But Prabhupada also describes that Hare Krishna means Lord Nityananda is Hare and Lord Chaitanya is Krishna. Like that. Hare Krishna. Right? Now, the amazing thing is, in this case, Lord Chaitanya is described as the heart of Lord Nityananda. Now, the heart is inside, right? Which is a little unusual. The energy is supposed to be inside, the energetic is outside. In this case, the energetic is outside. I mean, the energy is outside, energetic is inside. And it's described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat that Krishna lives inside the body of Lord Nityananda. Why? Because Lord Nityananda is none other than Lord Balaram. And Lord Balaram manifests the place, Vrindavan. And Krishna lives in Vrindavan. Get the idea? So, Lord Nityananda, in his 12 names, Nityananda Vidutendur, Vasudha Prana Vallabha, Janava Jivitapatihi, Krishna Prema Prada Prabhu, Padmavati Sutaha Shriman, Shachi Nandan Purvajaha, Bhavan Matto Jagattrata, Rakta Gaura Kalevara. This last words, Rakta Gaura Kalevaraha, means that he is a reddish tinged, golden colored person. Reddish tinged golden. The moon is considered golden. The golden moon, like that. Not so much yellow, but golden moon. And today, tinged by red, which means the mood of Lord Nityananda. What is the mood of Lord Nityananda? The mood of Lord Nityananda is to go house to house and to preach the holy name of Krishna. Because that was the order that was given to him by Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And today, in today's purport, we can see Prabhupada pointing out this to us all, that we must reach out to the public, we must reach out to the world and dissipate the darkness of ignorance by preaching the message of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. What is the message of Gauranga Mahaprabhu? Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram sarvatra pachar hoibe moranam. Amara gyaya guruhana tara e desh jarita kitarikaha Krishna upadesh. This is the message of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Now we can see in this world that people attach to things that are of value. When there's value, people attach. Anytime someone comes to you and wants to be with you, you should know they're doing that because they see some value in you. And the more value you have, the more people want to attach with you. This is why people really like to attach with a spiritual master. Why? Because the spiritual master is massive value. A lot of value in the spiritual master, right? So people want to be always with the spiritual master. People want to be with Krishna because Krishna is the most massive of all massive value, right? So we have to understand that why will people listen to our message? Why will they listen to our message? They will listen to our message if they see value. When they see value, they'll attach. All of us who came to this movement, some of us came in a very, very friendly way. It was almost like we were already devotees and someone touched us and then it became obvious we're devotees. Some of us, like me, came from the opposite side, not interested in any devotion, not interested in Krishna consciousness, opposing Krishna consciousness, hating the Hare Krishnas from the other side, right? So that's the full spectrum, that you could have come very easily or you'd have come because, you sort of decided. It's described actually the day Lord Chaitanya appeared, the devotees were chanting, everybody's chanting the holy names, right? Because it's the eclipse of the moon. So in the eclipse of the moon, it's considered a time which is inauspicious. And the word used in Sanskrit is sutak. Sutak means that it's a time of inauspiciousness, something inauspicious is happening. And so at sutak time, people, stay at home and they chant the holy names of the Lord. And they'll do things in such a way that ritualistic activities will be cut out. They'll cut out ritualistic activities. Of course, Gaudiya Vaishnavas are not into ritualistic activities. All our activities are imbued with love. So Sutak doesn't matter to us much, but we do observe the eclipse period because for us as devotees, this is the period of Lord Krishna's dynasty. The moon is, we come in the moon's dynasty. So when the eclipse is happening, we take that as an opportunity to show Krishna more love. So at that time, we chant a lot of Hare Krishna because chanting Hare Krishna shows Krishna the greatest love. Krishna says that himself, that when we chant his holy names, that's what pleases him the most. Kirtayanto, he says, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam, Yatantascha Dridhavrata, Namashyantascha Mam Bhaktya, Nitya Yukto Pasate. If we want to be always connected to Krishna, we should always chant the holy names of the Lord. Always offer our obeisances to him, glories to him. Do that with great faith and determination like that. So, in this world, because this is Kali Yuga, this is the time when people suffer the most. This is the age of the greatest suffering. Of course, we've not yet experienced that because we're still going through a transitioning period from Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga. In the transition period, what happens is the first 10% of the new Yuga, the old Yuga still has some effect in it. So this Yuga is going to last 432,000 years. So the first 43,000 years approximately, the effect of Dwapara Yuga is still going to be present. Now, of course, there's a difference in our case because Lord Chaitanya decided to appear in this Kali Yuga. There are 1,000 Kali Yugas in the day of Brahma. In this Kali Yuga, in one Kali Yuga, Lord Chaitanya appears. So this Kali Yuga he chose to appear. Because he chose to appear, from the time he appears, it becomes Sati Yuga. It becomes the golden age. So the effect of the golden age, the effect of Dwapara Yuga is not allowing us to fully experience how horrendous Kali Yuga can be. It's described that Kali Yuga is in full force. Nobody will be taller than 3 feet. The tallest person will be 3 feet tall. People will be using ladders to climb up an eggplant tree to break an eggplant. They will be so disturbed that their skin will be all wrinkled, just like if you ever see a 110-year-old person, how their skin is very wrinkled, right? They're born like that pretty much. Because there'll be lack of food, parents will eat their children when they're born. I mean, you can't imagine how horrendous that is. Right? But because of Dwapara Yuga and because of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, we're sort of having a pretty good time in many ways, right? Especially devotees. Devotees are the luckiest people in the world. We get to really enjoy it. Because real enjoyment is service of Krishna and the devotees. All the other enjoyment is illusory. People think they're enjoying. They're really not enjoying. It's just their mind playing games with them, and their mind thinks that I am enjoying. And as a result, what happens is people think I am enjoying, but it's not. It's the mind fooling us. That's all. Our intelligence has been covered by illusory knowledge, and because of that, the intelligence becomes polluted, and then the mind is already looking to enjoy anyway, and the false ego is the big brother telling the mind, let's enjoy this, let's have a good time in the absence of Krishna, and we think that's enjoyment. But it's not. The only enjoyment is when we are connecting to Krishna. So the pains that the people have in this world, Lord Chaitanya describes in the Sikshashtakam. We spoke the Sikshashtakam this morning as we were, during Mangalarti. And the first verse itself of the Sikshashtakam, Cheto Darpanam Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shrekirva Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadu Jivanam, Padanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam actually describes 7 benefits that Lord Chaitanya came to give all of the people of this world through the moons, through the devotees. These are the greatest pain anybody is suffering in this world. No matter how painful it is, forgetfulness of Krishna is the greatest pain, and anything that comes from that. And some of them are really difficult pains. Some of us have experienced very difficult pains ourselves. But we see around us how many people are suffering so much so that they're deciding to commit suicide. They're deciding to end their life. They can't tolerate the pain. It's how intolerable the pain has become. All of these pains can be removed and reversed into real happiness, real pleasure, real ecstasy by this process. And that's described by Lord Chaitanya. He says, "Let there be all victory for the chanting of the holy name of Lord Krishna, which can, number 1, cleanse the mirror of the heart." When the heart, the problem with the heart right now is that it's covered by ignorance. This ignorance is in the form of illusory knowledge. What does the illusory knowledge say? Illusory knowledge says, I am an individual and I'm meant to be happy. And the way I'm going to be happy is if I am going to take care of my senses, my mind, my intelligence, and my ego. These 4. If I take care of these 4, I'll be really happy. So, to take care of the senses, what do? We go and eat food, including food that we should not be eating. It's not our food, right? We go out and enjoy sensually with others. We go out and make a lot of money and buy fancy gadgets, live in a big house, drive a fancy car to show everybody how great I am, right? So this way we please our senses. In our mind likes to think, actually I am the most important person in this world. Everybody else is a fool. Everybody else should offer their respects to me because I am the best. So the mind is playing that game. The intelligence is polluted because of this illusory knowledge, and so what the intelligence does is becomes the servant of the false ego. And the false ego actually considers itself the Lord itself. False ego thinks, I am God. So, what's happened now is our heart, which is pure. When Krishna manifested it, it's a pure heart. In that pure heart, there are 2 entities, the Lord and us. We sit in the heart, right? That's the spiritual heart. It's also our physical heart in the same location. Consider a little more to the left, but actually it's in the same location. So, this heart needs to be cleansed. The mirror of this heart needs to be cleansed. When it's cleansed, now we can see properly. So the first thing we have to do when we speak to people is to correct their understanding in a loving way, not challenging them. If we challenge them, they will not listen. They'll challenge back, and then you'll be playing a nice game of ping pong. You'll be pinging and ponging, pinging and ponging. And you won't get very far with that type of preaching process. The idea is to connect. To connect means to understand their pain and to talk about what might help them relieve that pain and then give the knowledge within the system. It's a little like a child, right? Children, when they're sick, parents want to give them some medicine, but the medicine is bitter and the child won't accept it. So what do the pharmaceutical companies do? Or what do the Ayurvedic people do? They put the medicine inside a sweet covering, right? They sugarcoat it. And so when they sugarcoat it, what happens is the child accepts it because it's sweet, and then it goes inside and the medicine manifests and does its job. In preaching, we have to be very smart like that. That's what cleanses the mirror. We reach out first and understand the person first, so much so that you can be in their mind, you can hear the conversation going on inside their mind, and you know how to play that conversation in a way that is their conversation, so they will accept And that way you can bring a person who is completely against Hare Krishna inside Hare Krishna and become an advocate for Hare Krishna in a very powerful way. Because when people learn the truth and they know what is the truth and they can see how much this is going to help them, it's massive value. And here Lord Chaitanya says, I have come to give this to the whole world through the devotees. Then he says, the second is to stop the miseries of the blazing fire of material existence. That's the pain, right? Any of you ever been in a house that caught fire while you were inside the house? Blazing fire inside the house. No, you're lucky. It's very difficult getting out. Because what happens is, there's very thick smoke that develops. That smoke is up. It rises. So if you want to get out of the house, you have to crawl on the floor and get out. Because if you go through the smoke will overwhelm you, you'll faint and you'll die in the fire. You'll get burnt up. You'll become barbecued. But if you're smart, you know how to deal with the situation. You go straight, fall flat onto the floor and crawl out. Because the smoke will be a little above you and it'll give you a space to get out like that. How many people know that? How many people know that? Very few. That's why people have no idea how to deal with their miseries. They think they do. They write great books and these books become bestsellers. And people say, wow, what a wonderful book, it solved my problem. It did not solve their problem. All it did was put a patch. And the patch looks like it's a solution. It's not. What happens? Slowly the patch comes off. Back to square one again. That is not a solution. By the way, now when we are speaking like this in the public and we're telling them this, people are listening because they're tired of these solutions that they've heard again and again and again and again. Now they become so maxed out with these false solutions, they think everything is a scam. Everything is a scam. The third, he says, that chanting is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus of good fortune for all living entities. Everybody is looking for good fortune. The Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the waxing moon that spreads the white lotus. White lotus is a rare lotus. It's a very beautiful lotus. Everybody embraces it. Everybody will embrace the holy name. The first thing is, we've got to chant the holy name properly. Trinadapi shunichena taroreva saishnuna amani namanadena kirtanaya sadahari. We can only become kirtanaya sadahari when we give up criticizing others, finding faults in others, and instead becoming more humble than the straw in the street, more tolerant than a tree. A tree is being cut, its life is being taken. It doesn't complain. It's drying up. It doesn't complain that I need more water. The biggest mistake I've seen devotees making is being inimical towards other devotees. Why are we doing that? Yes, devotees will have different methods, different options of how to preach, and some of them may be diametrically opposite. So what? If that is Krishna's choice, let Krishna choose that. Krishna has created religious systems in this world that are running opposite one another. He did that. Why did he do that? He knows best. Why are we fighting against devotees? We have to cooperate, just like this body. If the body cooperates, the body will be happy. If my little finger thinks, I'm going to leave the body, I'm going to figure out my own life. I'm going to enjoy all the rasgullas myself, so I don't have to share it to the rest of the body. You think that little finger is going to enjoy rasgullas? No. It's going to die. It separated itself. Therefore, Prabhupada said, cooperation is bhakti. Try to find a method of cooperating with people. Yes, we're going to have differences amongst one another. Don't try and play the difference. Play the similarity. Play the way we can cooperate. We can help each other and have different methods. When Prabhupada actually started the Hare Krishna movement, he went to the Gaudiya Math and said, let's cooperate. We'll cooperate, the whole world will take to Krishna consciousness. Gaudiya Math said, no thank you. You have a different style of preaching. Go ahead and do it yourself. We don't think you're going to be successful. What happened? Prabhupada became most successful. Why? Because he created a movement of cooperation. As devotees, we have to understand we cannot afford to think bad about another devotee. Forget, say something and do something. Don't even think it. It's going to poison you. Prabhupada said, if you criticize a devotee, your devotion is destroyed. Nashanam. It's over. You may think it's there. That's your false ego. And false ego loves it. False ego wants us to think, I am a devotee, when actually, I'm not. So this is a very important part, that we must spread holy name. To spread the holy name, we must chant all the time. We must be so into the holy name that, say for example, sometimes we fall sick and we can't do anything. Just keep chanting in your mind. Keep chanting with your hand. We had a wonderful spiritual master on this planet, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. He would always have his hand inside the bead bag. Any disciples here of Gopal Krishna Maharaj? Yes? When he slept with the chanting beads in his hands. Anytime he would slightly get up, anytime he's not really sleeping, he's chanting. Whereas we try to go to sleep, if we can't sleep, what do? Pop a pill, do some meditation, calm ourselves down so that we can sleep. These are all false methods of sleeping. The right method of sleeping is sleep with the holy name. Keep chanting the holy name. You will get your rest. Even if it's a few hours, you'll get perfect rest. It's been tested. Prabhupada did it himself and it worked. The holy name is the only answer. Nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatir anyatha. For anything. This is Lord Chaitanya's gift to us as the moons, so that we'll give this gift to others. But first, let's experience the gift, because when you're convinced, you can convince somebody else, right? If you're not convinced, what are you going to convince somebody else? We talk to people, they say no, and we say, it's something wrong with them. They didn't accept Krishna consciousness. No, there was nothing wrong with them. There's everything wrong with us, that we could not convince them. The problem is not theirs, the problem is ours. Then the fourth is, it is the life and soul of all education. Imagine, this is one of the reasons we've started this project, where Prabhupada asked us to set up an educational program that is centered on the holy name. And we talk medicine, law, accounting, name any subject in this world with the holy name in it. That's how powerful the holy name is. It can drive everything. It can even drive a Tesla. That's how powerful the holy name is. If you understand what it is, you'll understand the holy name is everything. Nothing can move, nothing can exist without the holy name. It is what is the life of everything. And here, Lord Chaitanya describes it as the life of all education. Then he says, the chanting of the holy name of Krishna expands the blissful ocean of transcendental life. That's the Hare Krishna movement. Hare Krishna movement is transcendental life. We are the transcendental movement. And the chanting of the holy name is what will expand it. It'll make our consciousness expand, it'll make our consciousness grow, and it will catch like wildfire. There is no virus more powerful than the Hare Krishna Mahamantra virus. It can destroy all viruses and become the predominant system in everyone's life. And it is going to happen. Lord Chaitanya has predicted it. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of how many of us are ready to become instruments. Let's become an instrument. Then it says, it gives a cooling effect to everyone. You know, it's funny, even in winter, some people have hot flashes. Even in winter. The middle of winter, you can have a hot flash. Some of us who have, because we're doing creative work and we do work that's very exciting, Krishna consciousness is the most exciting of anything and everything. So sometimes when you're doing that Krishna work, conscious work, we get so excited that you can't sleep at night. Because just so excited, like anything you do, right? I noticed this with some of the Indians, some of you Indians, You go to India, and the night before you fly to India, you can't sleep. Because you're looking forward to getting on the flight, going there and doing whatever it is that you'd want to do while you're in India, right? You're so excited about it, you can't sleep. Children have the same problem. Sometimes they get so excited they can't sleep. So when we get very excited about Krishna consciousness, we need a little bit of a cooling effect. So you need to have some rest. Chant Hare Krishna. It cools you down. Gives you the cooling effect. Then you can take some rest. And then get re-energized and start again the next morning. Look forward to moving out again. Preaching. Practicing our sadhana. Particularly chanting the holy names. And reading Srila Prabhupada's books. So that we can understand this philosophy properly. And we can destroy any argument against us. Not just defeat it. This is why I really love Nityananda Maharaj. He likes to destroy arguments. He just won't defeat it. He'll destroy it. The guy walks away thinking, my God, what was I thinking? Like this. Prabhupada was like that too. In fact, Prabhupada would play that game. He would, sit on the balcony and offer an argument and then defeat that argument. And then defeat the one that defeated the argument and defeat that argument also well. Go deeper and deeper until you come to the essence of all knowledge, which is transcendental knowledge. And then it says, finally, enables one to taste full nectar at every step. Everybody wants to be happy all the time. This is the only process that's going to give you happiness all the time. Whether you are absolutely sick, whether you are absolutely frustrated, you're absolutely blocked, you're absolutely insulted. Give me any situation where you feel, wow, this is horrendous. The holy name will put you in a position that you are internally going to keep enjoying. Externally you'll deal with a problem. Externally you'll feel the emotion. But internally you'll be like a rock with ecstasy. A rock of ecstasy. These are the 7 solutions that Lord Chaitanya has given us. He came to give us these 7 solutions. Said, here you are, here are the 7 pills. Because people like to pop pills, right? Nobody likes to go to the doctor and get a system that's a difficult system. Just give me some medication, some pills that I can pop in my mouth and I become fine. Everybody loves pills. Here are 7 pills that I'm getting. These pills are so powerful, no pharmaceutical company can ever create these pills like the Hare Krishna movement can. We got the pills. Now let's put them in a nice packaging and take them out and put them into the mouths of everybody. And they'll, boom, come out thinking, whoa, what happened? I'm so happy. I must have been brainwashed. What you guys give me? It's like, some people come to a restaurant and eat, right? And they think, no, you guys are putting something in that food. This food tastes different. I make the same thing at home, or I've eaten this at another restaurant. Doesn't taste the same. You must have put some drug in there. Something you put. Please tell us, what is the secret? What is that secret sauce you got in your food? And we bring them to the temple, show them Radha Kalchanji, and said, that's the boss, and here's the secret sauce. At that time, we used to have a board here. There was not an electronic board. And I've always felt in my life, I'm not complaining, okay? No criticism. I've always felt I don't like electronic boards because they turn off at times. That board that was there never turned off. It was there all the time, right? The holy name is always there. Maybe we can put a banner on top or something. That's the holy name banner. But the holy name should never turn off inside a Hare Krishna temple. It is the only thing that's making everything work. Even the deities are happy because of the holy name. So we have the deities, we said that's the boss. That's Kalachanji. Meet the owner of Kalachanji's restaurant. And they think, wow, that's the owner. Wow. He's standing on the altar. Wow. He's got this beautiful girl standing next to him. Who is that? Then we get to explain who Radharani is. Right? And then we tell them that now we're going to show you the secret sauce. And we take them to this board and we tell them, now say, Hare Krishna. And they say, Hare Krishna. And we take them, say the whole thing, and they think, wow, that was nice. Why? Who's sitting in their heart? Harinam Prabhu. sitting in the heart. Harinam Prabhu outside, Harinam Prabhu inside. Harinam Prabhu everywhere. This is the solution. This is Gaura Purnima's message. If we take this message to heart, reach out to people in this world, you will see there is no problem. The problem is not that the economy is going to crash. There is no problem. The problem is not someone's going to fire some bomb and the whole planet will get destroyed. That's not the problem. Because the soul never dies. Nothing's going to go wrong. Prabhupada said the planet will take only 2 months to get back into action again. And we the souls, if we are Krishna conscious, what do you think happens to us? It's a free ticket to Krishna's planet, right? Where Krishna is performing pastime, Lord Chaitanya performing pastime. What do you think happens there? There it's pure ecstasy. It is described when you arrive on the planet where Krishna is performing pastime, you come into the cloud, you enter a drop of water. When you enter the drop of water, you feel, wow, everything smells very nice here. Everything looks very beautiful. Everything is perfection. From the time you enter the drop of water, which then falls and enters a grain, which then enters into some gopa, who then injects into the gopi, and then you're born from a gopi's womb. And then Tulsi Maharani's servant comes and takes you to the camp of Radharani and trains us up as a perfect devotee, and then we go back to the original spiritual plan, Golok Vrindavan. That's our process. We should pray that a bomb will drop. How many of us are enjoying it in this world? Having a good time? Need more Kali Yuga sauce? The deluge is already happening out there. Kalir dosha nide rajan asti ek mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. You come into the association of devotees who have these 7 pills. Then you keep popping pills and you're always in ecstasy. Just like when we started this movement, the hippies love to pop LSD. And they were high. And they loved it. Then the Hare Krishna mantra came and they went higher. And they said, whoa, this is better. This is a better high than the other one. The other high, you have to come down. This high, you don't ever have to come down. Stay in high all the time. What a wonderful Lord, right? That He came to give us this. And today is that day. Today is Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance day. It is said if we pray to Gauranga Mahaprabhu on his appearance day, that wish will be fulfilled. The only thing we would say is, be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask. And that's why when you first started in the Hare Krishna movement, people would say, before you ask anything from the Lord, say 4 words. If you so desire. And then ask whatever you ask. Because then the Lord will give it to you in a way that won't be harmful. Otherwise, you ask for it, He'll give it to you, and then you might find yourself in not such a good situation. I remember my own example. When I first joined Hare Krishna, I became very, very excited about it. And I was from a very wealthy family. So I said to Krishna, take everything away. I only want to serve you. And He did that. And then I was like, whoa, shouldn't have said that. You know, I remember Bir Krishna Maharaj saying, what a fool. Why did you say that? You had millions of dollars. We could have used it in the movement. We lost all of it. No, stupidity. I said, yes, Maharaj, it was. At the time, it was exuberant. And I should have added the words, if you so desire. Then Krishna would have done it a way that would have been more useful. Maybe He needed me to crush my ego, this, that, and the other, smash the false ego. So He did it the other way. But that's fine. Whichever way it is, at least it ended up right in the end. Why? Because the association of devotees. That is the most powerful thing that we have. And the association of the holy name. Prabhupada describes these are 90% reason for our success. Hare Krishna, as usual. Speak too long. I'm going to stop here, ask if any of you have any questions, any points you'd like to raise.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I think I missed 7 pills. Can you repeat again?
The 7th?
Yeah. The 7 pills you were talking about.
The 7 pills, okay. So
Yeah.
the first pill was, it cleanses the mirror of the heart, right? The second is, stops the miseries of material existence.
The first pill is like Hare Krishna mantra. What are you talking about?
Yeah, the Hare Krishna mantra cleanses the mirror of the heart. This is all the Hare Krishna mantra. We talk only Hare Krishna mantra. It gives you 7 pills. So you got it now?
Yeah.
You understand the 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry, I didn't make that clear. It's the holy name that does all these 7, yes. It's the 7 pills come from the holy name. Sorry? What is the significance? I would have to ask Gauranga Mahaprabhu what it is. But in numerology, 7 is the number for completion. Sorry? There are 8 verses, yeah.
So when did he given the 7?
The 7 pills are in the first verse. He gives us more information in the following verses. The first verse gives us the first 7 pills immediately. He tells us here's something of massive value that he can give others. And then he talks about the rest of the philosophy, because the 8 verses contain our complete philosophy inside the 8 verses.
Thank you.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you. Anybody else would like to say something? Mother Prabhupada Priya, would you like to say something?
Hare
Yes.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Thank you for the class.
Thank
Prabhu, you mentioned that Gaudiya Vaishnavism means we should reach out to the non-devotees.
Yes.
And the mood of Lord Nityananda was to reach out door to door. And it is a lot of trouble, you mentioned.
Yes.
But you said that if you take that trouble, then what? I missed that point.
You missed the part. What happens if we take the trouble?
Yes.
Yeah. When we take the trouble, what happens is that our consciousness rises faster. It's sort of like, you know how if you had to go up Empire State Building in Chicago, you know, it says to have like what, 80 floors or something? How many floors? I think it's about 80 floors, maybe 100. Anyway, so you could go up the stairs, right? That's going to be very hard, right? Going up 80 flights or 100 flights. But taking the elevator is faster, right? Escalator. Elevator? Escalator? Elevator. Taking the elevator is faster, right? It just takes you straight up. Within minutes, you'll get to the top, right? So when we preach to people who have no idea of Krishna consciousness, right? Then our consciousness rises very fast. Our Krishna consciousness comes to us faster, because consciousness rises through 11 levels, starting from the sense objects, then it goes to the mind, then it goes to the intelligence, then it goes to the false ego, then it goes to consciousness itself, then real ego, then to the soul, then to Brahman, then to Paramatma, and then finally to Krishna. That's the 11th consciousness level, right? So imagine that's where you got to go up to. You've got to go up to the top, right? So if you go the slow route, life after life after life after life, that's a very slow route. But if you preach in Krishna consciousness, if you preach, you go up this ladder very quickly. You go from the bottom to the top very quickly. Prabhupada said even in a moment you can reach the top. If that's the level of sincerity that you have, you know, that's how much you are hankering and loving the idea that I want to be Krishna conscious. You're ready for whatever it takes to be Krishna conscious, right? Like that. Particularly they associate with devotees who are more advanced than us so that they'll help us chant the holy name very sincerely, read Prabhupada's books very scrutinizingly, right? That, you know, follow the regulative principles, right? Practice sadhana as best you can, that type of stuff. All this helps us go up very quickly. So this is why that type of preaching is very good. When we say door to door, it means don't discriminate. Don't say, I will preach to some people not. You'll be amazed. Somebody you thought will never. Book distributors will tell you all the time. Somebody you never thought will take the book, took the book, and somebody thought will take the book, didn't take it. You know? Let Krishna decide. Krishna says, right, do your duty, leave the results to me. So our duty is to reach out to people and dissipate the darkness of Kali Yuga, the knowledge, which is their thinking, I am separate. You're not separate, you're part and parcel of Krishna. So, just stay part and parcel. Stay connected. See, if the little finger stays connected, my rasgulla in my mouth is going to be enjoyed by the finger too now, right? Because it's connected. If it was not connected, it won't be able to enjoy, right? And Krishna is always enjoying. So if you stay connected, you will enjoy automatically. It's an easy method, right? So that's what happens. When you preach, you stay connected in a very nice way. You see the connection, you feel the connection. You see how you are part and parcel. And that you're also a child of Krishna. You're also a beloved of Krishna. So then you have nothing to worry about, right? Just like, do you have any children? No? Okay. Well, are you married, by the way? No? Okay. So one day you'll get married and you'll have children, right? Let's assume. So when you have children, that baby who is with you, 1 month baby, has nothing to worry about. So long as you are around. That baby is nothing to worry about. Can we be like that with Krishna? Can we be like that with our spiritual master? Nothing to worry about if you stay attached and connected. And this attachment and connection really happens when we preach. Because you really need the knowledge now, right? You really need to convince somebody who may be even opposing you. And say to you, oh, this is all a conspiracy. There is nobody called Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Krishna is an Indian god. He's not God of everybody. Just God of Indians. Many things like that they can say, right? How are you going to reply to them? So that happens when you preach, you start learning these things. You know the answers because you find out the answers, right? Then you become very convinced yourself. And the more convinced you are, the more Krishna conscious you're going to be. So conviction only happens when you preach. It doesn't happen otherwise. Preaching is life. That's why Prabhupada said, preaching is life. Preaching is the essence. And you don't have to say very difficult things. Just Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's good enough. That's preaching. What does that mean? Then they'll ask and tell them what it means to be supreme, to be personality, to be God. And it's so beautiful. Come to the temple, check it out, see for yourself. Actually, people do come to the temple and they look at Kalchanya and Radharani and they say, wow, they are beautiful. They're very beautiful. They are God. They feel it because the Lord is reciprocating with them, right? Who can preach better than Krishna himself? Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Does that make sense? Yeah? Thank you. Anybody else? No? So we do have a very busy day, right? Today? You want to make some announcements?
Sure.
Yeah. Jai Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vanchakalpaturvascha kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda ki jai.
His Grace Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Ki jai. Thank you so much, Nityananda Prabhu, for the wonderful class. Let's give Nityananda Prabhu a big Haribo. Haribo. Thank you very much, Prabhu. We know you have a very busy schedule. We're grateful you take the time to come give class today. As everyone's well aware, Nityananda Prabhu was our temple president for nearly 25 years. And we're very grateful to you, Prabhu, for your continued association and guidance and support. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for inspiring us all with your words. So the remaining schedule for today is, so I was speaking with Chakri Prabhu, and he helps, as you all know, organize our Harinams. And so he was suggesting that actually we should go on Harinam at noon instead of 1:30, which makes a lot of sense actually, because if we go downtown, everybody will be on their lunch break, so we'll be able to share the holy name with more devotees. So we're going to shift the Harinam time from 1:30 to noon. My apologies if that messes up with your schedules, but we wanted to prioritize trying to connect with as many souls as we can with the Harinam. So at noon we'll meet at El Centro, or we can meet here at the temple if you want to go before that at 11:45. But we'll be gathering at El Centro Community College downtown, and then we'll do some Harinam around there for about an hour and a half, and then we'll come back to the temple. And then at 5:30 p.m., of course, Kirtan can go on throughout the day in the temple room. Devotees can chant and read and do Kirtan. And then at 5:30 we'll all gather, do Kirtan, and at 6 o'clock we'll have Artik and Abhishek. And at 6:30 we'll have class by His Grace Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu. And at 7:15, Shri Shri Gornita will come on their palanquin at the back, and we'll take them on procession around the neighborhood and do Kirtan together, and then followed by a sumptuous Prasadam feast. So please everybody come back for as much as you can. And of course, with it being a weekday, it's always a little more challenging for devotees to come and clean. The normal cleaning crew can't always make it. So, and also it'll be a bigger festival. So many hands make light work, and it's fun when we all serve together. So if you have time to help with cleanup afterwards, please let me know. And you can also contact Brajendra Sutra Prabhu, who's helping to organize that as well. Jai. Thank you so much for being here. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. Shri Gaur Pranim ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.